Greetings YouTube, this is Dean with Board Game Social, and today I am honored to bring you an interview that I conducted at Origins 2015, and the gentleman I got to interview was Nils Herzmann. Nils is a YouTube reviewer in both German and in English. He has a review show that he posts for Europe, and then he has one also coming out of Canada with a partner where he now resides. And I think that you'll really enjoy this interview. Nils is he's kind of a crazy guy. He has one of those personalities that just kind of takes over the conversation, takes over the room, takes over the game. So had the opportunity to play tomorrow a game by Artania with Nils. Had a really good time and look forward to running into him at some conventions earlier or farther down the road. So Nils told me that he was a big time YouTube sensation in Germany. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, if we gave them Hasselhoff, then I guess it's only fair that they give us Herzmann in return for here in America. So you guys watch the video, you guys decide, and I'll have the information for his video channel at the very end and then also down in the information box. But please check out this video. I think you'll be entertained.
Best German Television presents Sprockets.
I'm sitting here with Nils Herzmann, one of the European sensations in the YouTube world, game reviewer, and pretty much if you're in Europe, you probably know him. And he's working here at Artania at the Origins 2015 Game Fair, and he's going to give us a little insight not only about his YouTube channel and what makes him tick as a gamer, what he likes, but also some of the Artania products. So, Nils, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, as you introduced myself, thanks so much for that. I'm in Europe, especially in Germany, well known for my YouTube channel, Cyril's Brettspiele. But over in North America, I figured out you have a lot of good video channels out here, and it's very hard for me as not a natural English tongue to compete with all of you. So sorry for my strong accent, but I think it's good enough for you. So yeah, and again, I'm helping out every single convention, every single major convention for a company. It's called Artana. The name Artana is brand new. The games, we are the successor for Conquistador games.
Okay.
So we have all the old Conquistador games, old in brackets because 2 years. But in this business, all of you know it's old, right? So all these old ones and especially the brand new ones. Our focus is usually on socializing aspects, so and thematically deep games. So I wouldn't say we hate, but we are not liking games that has zero theme on it.
Sure.
So all of our games has to be perfectly products and perfectly touchy things. So always good components, and they must have a good theme on it.
Okay. So I know I just got done playing the game tomorrow. Very fun game, very much a social interaction game, and you know it's not necessarily there's not the plastic minis that you're going to find in a lot of games. It's kind of an old school throwback with the wooden pawns, but it works, and because of the style of the game, it makes you feel like you're playing one of those overall strategic Cold War sort of style games.
The idea for the game is the world is overpopulated.
Sure.
And the idea is to make a real picture of the real world. That's, by the way, the reason for the name. It is tomorrow. It is not in 100 years or 500 years. It's technically tomorrow. If we are all honest with each other, we are too many people on this planet.
Sure.
And even Dan Brown made his last novel out of the scene, right?
Right.
So it is an actual problem, but I mean, maybe not super funny to play with these mass destruction weapons. Obviously not. But again, we are in the gaming industry and we are a little bit more relaxed with things like this.
Right.
So we are playing to depopulating the world. And yeah, I mean the spice obviously come from the interaction with other players.
Absolutely.
So cutthroating is definitely one of the main things in this game. I mean, you maybe feel still the pain in your back from my knife. I don't know.
You know, I taught high school before I started working my current job, and this is definitely a game that I would have incorporated into my contemporary history classes because, yeah, it may not be politically correct to some people, but you know what? It's a game, and it does have its purpose, and there is a learning mechanism in this game about a very important topic, like you were talking about.
Absolutely. From my perspective, I fully agree. The thing is, as you mentioned, it's maybe not every people's cup of tea, right?
Sure.
So, but on the other hand, what kids definitely can learn from it is that a game is a game, and to win a game, you have to cooperate with someone.
Right.
At least a long time.
Right.
So you can never win this game alone, and you never can survive in this world alone. So kids can learn a lot of things from that game, but I personally would not pick it because with my German background, it's definitely a little bit too dark for me for a school. I don't know exactly which age you are talking about.
I taught high school, so which is 15 to 18.
Okay, that's fine. But I know with this PG-13, you are a little bit more relaxed over here in the US than we are. So,
okay.
And fun fact for that on the game, we said 17 plus. But it's a market thing.
Okay, so I'm confused. I thought Europe was so liberal as far as their, with children being able to drink younger and that sort of thing. But when it comes to this, they're much stricter on that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have strict gun laws, right?
Right.
And you cannot. Yeah. Do you know the game Manhattan Project?
Yes.
So it's a race, obviously, for the atomic bomb.
Right.
Where the German publisher wanted to bring that out in Germany and did it, by the way. And the first posting on Facebook, we bring out Manhattan Project to Germany. The first one, this is not even a single bit funny. How can you making this?
Really?
Yeah. We are really conservative in playing with killing other people.
I gotcha.
It's not, for Germans, it's not funny.
Yeah. Well, and I certainly, I mean, it's not about making light of it. It's just, I find that interesting because here we really don't have any problem with it, but there was a game about whaling in the 1800s that was being designed here in America, and it didn't fund, and because it got so much negative press about the whaling industry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting where, as cultures, we draw that distinction.
I give you a very funny example from my perspective. Historically, we don't have any problems with slavery.
Right.
We don't have this history.
Right.
So, and I know 5 tribes, I know it's a different publisher, but anyway, 5 tribes has a huge bullshit talking about how can you involve slaves on PGG, right?
Right.
In Germany, nobody cares about that.
Right.
We had for 100 years sweets, treats for kids. They call with this N-word, which is not allowed to say it on this channel, I guess.
Right.
We had that for 100 years, and nobody cares about that. I mean, obviously it's political, not really correct.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we don't have this history. But we have a history with mass destruction weapon and killing people.
Yeah.
So, and maybe this is a good example why we're a little bit aware of things like this.
Right.
And you say, hey, no, it's still a game, which I fully prefer.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that plays into a reason why a lot of Euro games don't have a theme or lighter themes or
No. The problem with the Euro games that don't have a theme is, I guess, history of games learned that there are only 2 styles, Ameritrash and Euro games. And Ameritrash is just, first of all, lots of plastic crap and not good mechanisms. And then, on the other hand, the Euro style is a lot of cool mechanisms, but nothing else.
You know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail because of this, right? It's all good, though.
Yeah, but That's a fact.
Right.
That's
Oh, okay.
historically correct. And in this market, everybody looks for a little bit of a niche. And nowadays, from my perspective, all these things in between, there are a lot of cool Euro-ish games with strong C.
You're right.
So, I mean, even our newest one, which is a pure Euro, right? Tesla vs. Edison, a super popular theme over here. And
Right.
it's a super strong feeling.
Right.
What we try to do always is put a deep thematically game onto the market, and not even we have a single mechanism and build a game around it. We have a story and try to find mechanisms that fit into that theme. So one example, and this is very funny, I point that always out, is thematically we have to build in Tesla vs. Edison paper money. There's no way to use coins or whatever. So we had to try to figure out a solution for including paper money into a game which doesn't look shabby.
Right. Right.
Every gamer hates paper money, right?
Right.
Every single. Me, you, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So, and the challenge was to find paper money which is not shabby.
Right.
We have super cool coins in our company, but thematically put coins to Tesla vs. Edison, where you deal with at least thousands or millions of dollars, makes absolutely zero sense.
Okay.
So we try to figure that out, and I guess it's the first time you touch it. Please touch
Yeah.
it for me.
Would you like to touch my monkey?
I will touch him.
Touch him, love him!
Say something.
That's nice thick stock. Two-sided.
Yeah, one side is
Very
just
pretty.
blank to cover the value on the other.
Sure. But still, yeah, yeah.
But this is our solution for paper money. I call that always paper money 2.0.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
And I guess you see exactly what I mean with when I'm talking. We are breaking a little bit the strict rules of Euro versus Ameritrash
Right.
or Ameritrash versus Euro.
Right.
It's not God-given that a Euro game has 0 C.
Right. And I guess, I've never understood, you have a lot of people that are just adamant, I'm only a Euro gamer, I'm only an Ameritrash gamer, and I just don't understand why people are so stuck and not willing to try new things. It's-
Thanks so much. That comes directly out of my heart, because I'm personally sometimes in a mood to play a really bloody fight backstabbing game,
Yeah.
and pick one out of my shelf and say, today, if the group is fine with that, right? And pick exactly this game out of the shelf and say, hey, let's do it. I'm in the right mood for this. But it could be also on another day, just a 20-minute, maybe 30-minute, light, easy playing game, sitting around a table, chatting, and just doing something while you're sitting around with friends. Why you always have to be focused on 18xx, so I have to play 8 hours in a row doing nothing else. No. I also hate these fixed roles. If I'm in a mood for a dexterity game, I like to play a dexterity game.
Right.
I also like kids games from time to time. But it always depends on the group and the interaction in the group.
Okay. So a couple of questions here before security throws me out. On your channel, so when you shoot your videos, you're doing reviews, what do you as a reviewer, what's kind of the things that you focus on? Are you all about the mechanics, or kind of walk me through how you approach reviewing a game?
Good question. I have some separated things and directly call them a little bit different. For my German audience, I always make full walkthroughs, a full playthrough.
Okay.
Obviously, that is not happen with backstabbing games because I cannot backstab myself, and also not a two-player card game. It's impossible.
Right.
These are usually more expert or at least mediocre gamer games.
Sure.
And then a full walkthrough is roughly 90 minutes, 100 minutes. I usually start with components, rules, no personal opinion on that. Full game, 5 minutes, just personal thought, that is. But I also have some English footage, and this is totally different because my English footage is I have a partner sitting in front of the camera, like if you would come around and we would discuss one game for roughly 20-25 minutes, and we are not talking about too much about rules. Rules is 2,
Sure.
3, 4 minutes.
Sure.
We don't care about rules. We talk about our experience, our feelings, our personal experiences with that game. So if I would talk about tomorrow, we did it. That's the funny part on it.
Right.
I would say what was my last 4 or 5 experiences with tomorrow? What was going on in the group? Why I like it or why I hate it? I add some obviously problems. Paper money would be a no-go for almost every gamer, and I feel as a reviewer always to say if there's something really shitty in a game.
Right. Okay.
That has to be included, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the last thing I have is I started a series, it's called In a Nutshell. I try to be under 10 minutes for kids or very light games.
Okay.
Exactly because you asked me for my different flavors.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes I'm playing a kids game and I try to bring, I figured out accidentally it's a super game. Why not bring that to my audience?
Yeah, I definitely like reviewers, styles who, you know, when you, as a group, when you get done playing a game, everyone always sit back and kind of just chit chat. What do you like? What didn't work? And that's what typical everyday people do.
Yeah.
You know, they just sit back and dissect the game after they play it. And I like reviews that kind of approach it the same way, that don't get overly involved in the mechanics. And I mean, they're important, but to me, mechanics aren't the breaker. You know, that's not what's going to keep me from buying a game. It's whether or not it's going to be fun socially with my group.
For me personally, it depends on my mood again.
Right.
Usually I agree. If everybody in a group, we are sitting around a table, 5-6 persons, and everybody say, hey, let's start this or that game, I would never be the sour lemon and say, oh, no, I'm against that.
Right.
But I always have my preferences, right?
Right.
So,
Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the spot then. What is your all-time, if you could only pick one game to get on the table, I know it depends on the mood, but what's your all-time favorite game?
favorite or hitting the most table?
Favorite.
Oh, I would say it's still Power Grid.
Okay.
It's still because I like the catch-up mechanism.
Okay.
I think it has, for me, the perfect and best catch-up mechanism.
So you kind of like that heavy, sort of mathy game.
But
okay.
if you would ask which game hits most my table, I would definitely say Ticket to Ride.
Okay. Hey.
And there are some other games which I played, which I not like, to be honest. A couple of games where a lot of dice are involved, and there's only one winning strategy.
Yeah.
I don't want you to
so
name it out right now.
You're not a dice chucker. So.
No, definitely not. But I figured out a lot of people like that.
Sure.
A lot of people. And I would say, okay, let's play it just because you have fun, and I'm in. But
okay.
If there's only one winning strategy in a game, usually I hate it.
Right. Okay. So with that, I'm going to put you on the spot again. So you're a reviewer. You've played a lot of games. What is the worst game that you've ever played? No,
you want it?
I want it. Yes, I want it.
I cannot say what is the worst game ever because I'm playing so much. I can say what is the worst game of the last year.
Okay. All right.
Magical. Review-based game, and it's horrible. And for me, it is horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you wanted to be on a spot.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what makes that's fine. That's what makes the gaming community go around. Is everyone has their. They can be someone's favorite and someone's worst. So I appreciate that.
I made a review exactly also for that game, and I technically destroyed it.
Okay.
But I also respect. This is exactly a game where I've spoken just a couple of minutes ago. Exactly a game where I have to respect that a lot of people like it.
Right.
So a lot of people ask me, hey, can we play it again? Mm-hmm. So, my gut feeling was, of course not. It's super stupid. But if 6 people are sitting around the table and want to play it.
Right. Because ultimately, I'm assuming for you, it's not about winning and losing. It's the camaraderie and it's the social aspect of gaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
I love to sit around with my friends around the table, and if a game hits the table, that's outstanding. But if not, it's not the end of the day.
Okay. Well, Nils, I appreciate your time. It was
Thanks
great
so
getting a
much.
little insight into what makes you tick and showing us some more of the Artania games. Real quick, how can people find you on YouTube?
Just put in my name. I know it's very hard for you, Nils Herzman. Double N, please. I know it's very German. Nils Herzman, YouTube. Bam, bam.
All right. Excellent. Well, again, I appreciate your time, and
I appreciate that.
I will say, yeah, I think your English is just fine. You could make English videos and not have any problems. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Bye.
All right, I hope you really enjoyed this video because I had a blast making it with Nils. He was such a nice guy and such a fun guy. He took some time at the end of the vendor hall closing at Origins for me to film this, so I do appreciate that. And these are the type of videos I want to bring to you more in the future, interviewing designers, publishers, just personalities within the hobby that can showcase why they like the hobby, the games they like, and not just videos that are portraying or pushing what the latest product's going to be from that designer or that publisher. So if you like this type of thing or you want to keep informed on the upcoming videos, please subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. All the information is below in the information box, as well as I'll put Nils' information down there for you. And I look forward to seeing you again at the next social event. Take care, YouTube. Have a great day.